trespass into the domain of the gods. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. Ultra Instinct is just that form. You got to remember, when this form debuted, not only did it pretty much break any streaming service, but the internet itself was just kind of losing its shit, rightfully so. When this form was debuted, everybody lost it because not only, yes, it's a different hair color at the end of the day, but it was more than that. It wasn't just a hair color. It was the way the form operated, the way Goku was acting. It was a whole new thing. It had its own presence to it, and it's still better than Super Saiyan Blue. But regardless of that, which anything's better than Super Saiyan Blue, but I'm not here to trash on Blue. I'm here to talk about UI. In this video, I want to talk about a few things that could make or break UI for people in Sparking Zero, and you basically tell me if you think it's a good idea or a bad idea. So, for starters, Ultra Instinct Goku. For what we know, it seems like UI, at least Ultra Instinct Sign or Omen, is its own form or own character, which kind of makes sense. Some people kind of brought up a point, not in like a video of mine or anything, but they brought up the point that it would be kind of interesting if it was kind of like base Gohan, where, if hopefully I can pull up the clip. Gohan, he can go Super Saiyan 2, whatever, but like once he goes Super Saiyan, he only escalates up, so he'll go like Super Saiyan 2 Ultimate, and that's about it. But if you're in his base, besides Super Saiyan, he has the option to go into Great Saiyaman, but you can only go into it from your base form. So some people kind of had the idea that, okay, well, what if that's how it works with Super Goku, where he's in his base, and that's how he can go into Ultra Instinct Omen, but if he's not, then he has to like power down from these other forms. Like he can't go from God and Blue into UI, like that's not how it's going to work. And as cool as that would be, you got to realize Super Goku has a lot already. You know, his base, he's got Super Saiyan God, and the Super Saiyan Blue. So as cool as that would be, and I wouldn't be opposed to it, that's kind of too much for one character. So it being its own character makes the most sense, and I'm not upset with that in any way. However, I'm bringing up a potential idea or concept for the form that I hope they might do, because other games have done similar things in this. Well, another game I can bring up has done this. But the whole thing with Sparking Zero is they want to stay true to the anime, you know, in terms of canon power levels. They keep that in consideration for characters and stuff like that, which is cool. I love that. However, I think this would be an interesting thing if, and you guys let me know if you like it or hate it. Again, I'm not gonna be upset if you're like, no, this is a terrible idea. Like the whole point of this is just to talk with you guys about it. But what if UI, if you remember Master Ultra Instinct, when Goku was almost, at least when the first time he was going to finish Jiren, he was walking towards him, he was going to like finish him, whatever, and then Goku's whole body just went to like a state of shock after UI. Because you got to keep in mind, if we're going off the anime, manga's different. If we're going off the anime, Goku didn't really master UI. He can't like freely tap into it. He kind of just did it when necessary, and then that was it. He didn't really have it down packed. Even though it's called mastered, he didn't really have it down. So what if they incorporate that same concept into the game, and how it would work? Because I can already hear now where some people are just like, well, so what are you saying? What, he transforms then for a little bit of time? No, I don't think it should be a timer thing where it's like, okay, when the time runs out, then he's just in a weakened state, whatever like that. But basically what I'm saying is it would be cool if you have Omen, you know, just the base character, whatever, right? Then he transforms, you can go into Master, stay in as long as you want, whatever. However, I think if your health gets to a certain threshold, you should power down, kind of go through like a state of shock through your body, whatever, and you play like base Goku. And it's not like a base Goku that's on the roster, it's more so a base Goku that's exclusive just to that like form of UI, and his clothes still torn, whatever, but it's just Goku where you can tell he's in pain. Now you're not entirely like super nerfed, like let's say your energy kind of comes back a little bit slower. I also think it would be cool when he's in this base state that Goku could not activate full power. So you can still charge ki, although it's a lot slower. It'd be more efficient to just fight, and you'll get your ki back probably at a natural rate, but if you try to charge, it's a lot slower. Just so it's somewhat kind of like not fully hindering you, but you are hindered at the same time. Again, this, I'm saying the ki drain or slower charge as a thing. It doesn't even have to be that. It could just be aesthetically as he looks like that and he still fights normally. He just looks drained. They could do that too. Either way, I'd be fine with either one. But if they did do that whole route where he's drained, whatever, it would be cool if he cannot access full power like at all. So they wouldn't even have to worry about this Goku having an ultimate, because if we're going off the logic, he should be too beat up to even think about doing something like that. So he wouldn't even need his own ultimate or anything like that. But again, this is just me spitballing some ideas on that. but it's not like you can't fight or fly or anything like that. Like, you can still do that. You're just your energy. You're kind of like your energy's slower. That's it, I guess, in charging or whatever. And then also the fact that like if he's doing Kamehameha and shit like that, you just see like in his animations the dude's in pain like going through it. So don't make him completely useless, but it would be cool if like you're just in that state. Like let's say the last 10% of your health, or like once you're at the 10% threshold for your health, remaining health, your body just goes into that state and that happens. That way I think it'd be kind of staying true to canon, where it's like, okay, this is a form Goku doesn't have mastered at this point in time, and at the same time it would also not really hinder people, because I mean, at least how I'm looking at it, I know some of you are probably like, well, that's going to hinder me because I'm getting my ass beat. Now I'm not in UI. And I'm just going to say, well, just don't get your ass beat in UI. Hey, don't look at me like that. All right, look, I know how this sounds, right? I just thought it might be a cool concept or idea. Other games have done this, so Storm Connections. Some people didn't like how they did Baryon on Naruto, which I personally loved how they did it. He wasn't in it the whole time because I feel like that would have taken away the whole impact of the actual form. But it was cool that it was his awakening, and I'm not saying, again, not like a timer thing for UI, but it was cool that in his awakening, when it ran out, he would of course in his Baryon mode he'd do all his cool shit, be OP as fuck. But once it was out, Naruto was actually powerless and like on a grounded state. Now unfortunately, like I would have preferred if he was back in his base and he wasn't still in QB mode afterwards, because that's not how the form worked. But I mean, you know, maybe it was an issue with development or whatever. But regardless, you know, even Guy did the same thing. You know, they did that with 8 Gates, where right afterwards this man was like basically out of it. Technically he should be instantly dead, but he didn't die in the series either. But that's a whole other issue anyway. Regardless, I kind of want that same thing for UI Goku, and I feel like it activating on the last 10% of his health would be kind of cool. And you still get your whole UI. It's not on a timer. If you're going off, you're going off. And I'm sure the form's going to have some crazy evasive moves or techniques or whatever. So it's going to be powerful. So if you're good at the game or decent, you probably won't have to worry about that. But if you are getting your ass beat, it's a cool little thing where it's like, oh, okay, I'm at the last 10% of my health. And I think it would make it somewhat more impactful playing that character if someone's in that state and they still pull up. Now, again, it's not going to be like a drastic nerf. It's just like their energy kind of comes back slower, which would affect gameplay obviously, but like it's just more of an aesthetic thing. I don't know, again, maybe I'm just trying to add or overdo it too much in this game and I need to just fucking relax. But I do think this, if this was in the game, personally for me, I think it would really make the form even more unique instead of UI just, you know, being UI and they're trying to stay accurate. I think it would be cool if there was somewhat of a drawback. It was like, okay, you know, I'm kind of going off, I'm at the last 10% of my health, shit, I'm in base mode, like and I'm kind of ass right now, you know. I think that'd be kind of hype. Like imagine somebody, like you're in a rank match, you're actually beating somebody's ass and then their next character is Broly, they start beating your ass for whatever reason, right, and you just not pulling up, and then you're at like the last 10% of your health. And again, with the character switching, if it's kind of how it was in the old games, let's say you switch out, that Goku recovers his health, it comes right back in UI Omen. It's like no harm, no foul. It's really just a thing, like if you want to fight it out in the form to just feel cool, like, you know, those like last stand moments and shit where you're like, damn, I'm really beat up, my clothes are torn up. Like that's why I picked Goku mid a lot when I was younger, because it's, and especially the torn clothes, I love starting a fight just ripped up, look beat up as hell, and I'm like, let's do this. Like, I don't know, it just gave me last stand vibes. So if that was a thing for UI, I think it'd be pretty cool. Again, might make or break the form for some people. I'm just saying this, I don't work for them. They're probably not even doing this. They might come across this video if someone from freaking, I don't know, the Sparking development team really just comes across the video looking like, the fuck is that asshole saying? Ignore him, bro, we ain't doing none of that shit. I ain't expecting that. I'm just saying, if that was implemented in the game, would you be cool with it? And you also got to keep in mind, I'm also bringing this up because we already had another situation not too long ago with the Blue Evolution, where some of you didn't like how they did Blue Evolution, some of you understood how they did Blue Evolution. If you've seen the previous video, you know what camp I'm in. I'm definitely okay with how they did it because, again, I think it more so fits for Vegeta as a temporary power than a full-on individual form. But that's just how I interpreted Blue Evolution the whole time. So I mean, that's just me. Not saying I'm right, not saying you're right, it's just it is what it is, or it is what it was, is what someone told me to start saying. But regardless of that, yeah, that was the whole point of this video. I just wanted to see if they implemented that in Sparking for UI, would you be down for it? Would you hate it? You think, what the fuck am I smoking, and do you want some? Or you're like, you know what, no, I can kind of get behind this. Anyway guys, I'm the Graceful Rogue, back to the shadows I go.